Hello, hello. Let me get my camera going here so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, now can we see it all? Yeah, I think close enough. Okay. So this is playing with paper, and I have some different plates that I thought it would be kind of fun to do a comparison on because there is so many different kinds. This one here is a creative palette. It's a mono printing plate from Stampendous. And I'm not sure if I'm right side up or upside down. Let me figure that out so you know what I'm doing. And this one here is a homemade jelly plate. And it's probably the best one that I've ever made. I love it. It is nice and thick. You see how thick that is? It's very flexible. It doesn't crack. I've not had a problem with it. I made this size, and my recipe originally of what I was trying to make was a 12 by 12. But it actually had enough left over that I was able to make one this size. Now, I misunderstood the recipe from Frugal Crafter and ended up making one that was completely different than her recipe, but I think I like it better. I know definitely that it's not going to go bad. It's not going to mold. It's a permanent plate. And if it ever does get out of shape, get some dings in it, the good thing about these is that you can just tear them apart, put it in a glass dish, and put it in your microwave until it melts, and then re-pour it and have a new jelly plate. So here is the recipe. Can you see that? There we go. I'll hold that real still. I misunderstood what her recipe was, and it wasn't until I went back and re-watched and reread what her recipe was that I understood I did it wrong. However, I've made one of her plates before, and I liked it. However, I like this one a whole lot better. It's a whole lot more sturdy. So what you're going to do when you make one of these jelly plates, what I did is 39 packets. Now, I got this box at Walmart, and I don't remember, I don't know, $6, $7. And it comes with these double packets in here. The recipe that I used was 39 packets. That means 1, 2. This doesn't count as one packet. This is 2 packets. So I used 39 packets. Now the difference between this Knox unflavored gelatin and regular Jello is regular Jello, you're going to dissolve it in hot water, but this, you want to dissolve it in your cold water. So when I write on here that you need to put your gelatin in your glycerin and your alcohol, that's where you're actually going to melt this gelatin at. Then, after it's all dissolved and stirred in, and it'll still look a little cloudy, that's when you want to add your gelatin and then put it in your pan. I've left them overnight, but I was in a hurry to see how this one turned out when I realized I made a mistake. And I went back 4 hours later, and these were completely done. Now, to store them, I just have a clear acrylic sheet, and I bought these, I don't remember where, but they're just clear acrylic sheets. And I just put it on my jelly plate, and I put one underneath, and that's how I store it. I don't put it in an airtight container or anything like that. So I'm tickled. I've got a small one, and I think this is an 8 by 8. Yeah, this is an 8x8 square, and I just used a baking pan. Now my 12-inch one, I went to Hobby Lobby and bought a 12x12 baking pan in their baking aisle, and that allowed me to make a 12x12 plate, because we all have that really ugly, not so pretty, non-inspiring 12x12 paper that we just don't know what to do with, we'll never use. Use it on your jelly plates. Now this one, these two here are regular jelly plates. They're a little thinner. They're nice and stretchy, but they're thinner. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, as long as they perform like they're supposed to. So we've got some regular jelly plates, we've got some homemade jelly plates, and we've got this mono printing plate from Stampendous. Now what I want to say about this is I left it out for 2 days, and it still has stunk up my room like alcohol. When I first opened up the package, because I was going to do this video a couple days ago, this takes your breath away, and it's still, as far away as I am, like a foot and a half, it still is just really, really strong. But it's got, can you hear that? It's got nice stick to it, and it's flexible. It's very sticky. But the smell, I think, would keep me away from using it. But I'm really curious, because on your jelly plates, your paints don't dry very long, because these are real, they've got a lot of moisture in them. Even the regular jelly plates have a lot of moisture in them. So I'm worried that this is going to dry my paint out so fast that it's going to be really hard to work at. So with that, hi Donna, how are you? You finally get to catch me on a live one. Whoop whoop. So with that, I think we're time to get going, and I've got 2 different paints going on. I've got the Master's Touch acrylic from Hobby Lobby, but then I've also got my regular craft paints from wherever. You can get them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby. Let's see, where is there another brand? I think there's some Anita's. I think there's some Apple. There's an Apple Barrel. And then I've got regular paints. Now these are just your craft paints. They'll be a lot thinner, probably easier to work with. However, I did get these, a whole basket of these, really cheap during the Hobby Lobby redo, and managed to get a good price. They'll be a lot thicker, so they might be a little harder to work with, and I may not end up using them, but I thought I would try it. There's nothing wrong with trying things. That's what it's all about, is to see what works. Then I went around the house and gathered up different things to play with, because we've all got to have different things to do on our jelly plates to play with. So this is Martha Stewart, I don't know, texturizer or something like that. There's a couple of these, and what these came off of is Bath and Body's, you know, the tops on their Bath and Body shampoos, and, or not shampoos, or bath wash and lotions and things. And one of them I just took the top completely off, and the other one I left it out. We've got, I think this was something that my husband got bullets in, and aspirin lids. Have no idea what that is. But I've just saved like Scotch tape. This comes from a K-cup. Applesauce. There's a hair. We don't want that in. And a couple little straws of sorts. So that'll be something to use on our jelly plate to make a lot of fun, interesting prints. But we've also come up with, how many of you remember, is there 3 of these? I thought there was 3. Nope, there's just 2. Remember these from the 50s and 60s? They're plastic. the plastic doilies. They make really fun prints on a jelly plate. This is the -2 sequins. That'll be fun to do. This come off the back of tiles when I was doing my kitchen. I took the tiles off and kept this to use. Have no idea. Some sort of packaging. Can you see the little ridges on it? Packaging. We've got big, little, tiny, medium. And then this one actually doesn't have no air in it. That's just the way it's made to do with, because you can spread them out and have a big cross pattern, or you can let it go back together and have small ones. And same with these from onions or whatever. I think this green one came from limes. I have no idea what that come from. But these are fun to use on your jelly plates. And these are things you have in your house. Didn't spend no money on it. And then, of course, I've got foam stamps, some stencils. I went to Dollar Tree yesterday. And they had them last year, but I missed it. I got it this year. These are the little, who couldn't use an extra little notepad? But on the front, you can tear this off. Well, maybe somebody could. I couldn't. We can cut them off. And we've got a stencil. So for $1, you got a stencil and a new notebook. So always watch out for something like that. When I go in the store and I look at things, see, look at that. Nice stencil. And bonus, I got a new notebook. They had that one. And they had this one with the fun circles. So I'm going to use those on my jelly plates today. Now, last year when they had these, they had like five or six different ones. And I totally missed it. By the time I got there, they were all gone. But I got them this year. I got 2 of them. And I like those. Those are cute stencils. So I think it's time to get playing. I've got my rollers. We're going to try the same thing on each plate. And so we can really compare on how they go. So let's get going. Let's make some paint. Hi, Michelle. With the jelly plates, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to make sure that they're all open. That would be helpful. What you do is you lay down some paint, Donna, and you use stencils and whatever to make different designs. You can use it on cards, mixed media. So we're just going to mix some paint. Probably didn't need that much on that one. It's a little. And we're just going to compare on how they do. Let's do some pink. I bet all of these has got to be opened. I know I opened some of them. I bet you I won't run into them today. Did anybody get a chance to watch the acrylic pours last night that we did? I actually got my husband involved in that one, which was a surprise. He's like most men, and he doesn't get involved in that kind of stuff. But he thought that looked kind of fun and got him in it. Let's do a fun green. No, let's do a blue. You got to be careful when you're mixing your colors, because if you mix the wrong colors, you're going to end up with a brown, muddy, looks like horse manure. Nobody likes that. It's like you wouldn't mix orange and blue. Because brownish, greenish color sometimes. Okay, wipe that off. And I've also got a stack of regular copy paper over here because as I wipe this off on here, I'm actually going to have a bonus of a second print of something. So we're going to do this. And if you get too much on there, you can always bring it right back off onto your paper, which I think that gave me too much paint. Okay. Let me get some of that blue over there. There we go. Yeah, I used entirely too much paint. There we go. Can everyone see okay? Yes, I do, Donna. I don't really do just one craft. I do a lot of crafts. Some that I wouldn't necessarily put on YouTube. I like to knit, quilt, crochet. Okay. Now let's go through and let's lift some of this paint off. We'll make little circles. Sounds like over here. Let's see what kind of design we get. And see, this lifts off your paint. So then you're left with a really cool design. There's like way too much paint. I have to remember that when I put the paint on next time to not do quite so much. All right, so let's do some of these circles. We'll see what kind of designs we're going to get. And seeing as I'm wiping off my whatever tool I'm using, I'm actually making a really cool, does this show up over here? Yeah, it does. All right, so you can see where I'm making another design over here on my white paper to use in a different project. And what's fun about these is when you go to use them, it's not something that you're going to find necessarily at a store because they don't make these kind of papers. Now, what I've noticed right off the bat is I'm not able to press down to get the paint off of this one as easily as I am the others. Whereas these, I can get it off fairly easy. Yeah, see, it's just not wanting to come off of this one at all. It's just smearing it. And what's cool about jelly printing is when you go to take your paint off, sometimes it doesn't all the way come off. So you'll have some residue left for your next print, which is really kind of cool. All right, so this is just regular copy paper that I'm using. I've got some maps, some time cards. What else do I have? Envelopes. I want to do some envelopes for some Happy Mail. Some book pages, bookmarks, tags. So I got all kinds of neat stuff to do. And you just press that on and give it a good firm rub. And then you go back and you peel it off. So that was the jelly print. You see that? Let's see, which way do I need to go? I need to go that way. Look at all the designs that showed up. Now, here is the actual Gelli print brand. Let's see. There we go. Gotta figure out where my camera's at. So it showed up pretty good. Each one of them gave a different one so far. So now let's pull up the Stampendous one. Boy, my paper really stuck to it. And that's the Stampendous one. So the Stampendous one didn't show up as dark, but it was almost like this homemade Gelli print one. I like this one better. And this one really gave a lot. So that's cool. Now we can look at our plates and see what we got going on there. Now see, on our plates, we could probably pull a second print from this one because there's so much paint still left on it. So let me do that. Look at there. There's a second print off of this. How cool is that? So this one really dried out quickly. It didn't let the paint go. So let's try a different color here and try something different. Let's add some bright green. Oh, gotta open it. Well, if I get it a little darker or a little brighter color in there, you might be able to see a little bit better. And let's put some green over here on this one. A little bit of green, a little bit of green. Everybody gets some green. And let's add, what we got over here. This says fluorescent pink. You will definitely be able to see this one, Donna. Oops, gotta open it. I don't think you could put water on that and make that paint come back, but what you could do, because it would water down your page too much, make it too wet. But when we go to do this actual print, I'll make sure that I pull it first and then we'll go to the others. Maybe that you need to get it off quicker and not let it set quite so long. On these, you can let it set for a long time, but maybe not on that one. All right, so let me get my brayer out. Now the colors underneath, it will pull with what's on there now. So you'll see all the different colors. All right, so let me get another sheet of paper and we'll just pull this one real quick. Maybe that's what you got to do with this one. Because right now I'm just not very happy with it. Yeah, see, the purple didn't quite pull through. You still see some of the purple. Now, can you see the different shapes now that it's different colors? A lot brighter colors. But yeah, I don't know. You know what? Let me get some water and we'll try it. Let me re-wet that and see what happens. But I'm afraid that it's just going to make mud or it's just going to make my paper too wet. But we can certainly try it, Donna, and see if that happens. When I ordered it, I thought I was getting a Gelli plate. So I was a little disappointed when I opened it up and it was that. Well, you know what? It did pull some of the different designs out. And it didn't make the paper too wet. A little wet. It's got some water in it. So we'll set it to the side and let it dry. Maybe it would work better with cardstock because it's a little tougher. All right, so on to what we were doing with these. But so far, I think I like my homemade one the best. It held paint. I was able to get 2 prints, not just one. Let's put that one there. Actually, let me put the little one there. Put the little one there. And I'll save this one for the other one. So let's pull a print off of that. Wait till you see what happens, Donna, with that. And we'll just rub real good around that doily. It come up. Check it out. Love to design of the doily. And actually, if I'd have pressed real hard through there, I probably would have picked up more of the center design. How fun was that? All right, so now let's do our big one and see what we get out of it. But when you put wet paint on this, the paint underneath gets reconstituted so you can use it again. Okay, another piece of paper. Put our doily down, and I'll make sure that I rub real hard around it this time. Let's see if I can't get more design out of it. Oh, that one turned out a lot better. Just needed to give it more design, more rubbing, more attention. See all the detail in that doily? How cool is that? Now I can take these, and I will. I'll take these later, and I'll do some stenciling on them, maybe some stamping. Now when I lift this up, I can also go back. See the design that's still there? Watch this. So you get like 2 prints. You get a positive and a negative print from the same print. Look at that. How pretty is that? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, oh, we didn't do the second print of that one. So let me do that and get that cleaned off a little bit. Or you know what? I think I'll leave it, and it'll show up on my next print. So now let's do some bright yellow. And when you're done playing with your jelly plates, you just put a little bit of a damp rag or a baby wipe and get off what is left and clean your plates up. Let's do some of this neon green. That looks pretty cool. Oh no, we already did neon green, didn't we? Let's see what else we got. This says fluorescent orange yellow. That should be wild with all of that purple and green. And it rolled away. It is pretty neat, Donna. I love it. Too bad they didn't have like a neon blue. They have a lake blue, but not a neon blue. That's a bummer. All right. So on your theory, Donna, let me spray this with water, just real lightly, and maybe it'll help keep that paint just a little bit wet longer. But so far, I'm not digging this plate. Okay. That is some bright colors. Woo-wee! Very bright. Very, very bright. And I'll put that negative sequin right down there. And let's put one on real quick before it does dry out. And I'll rub very firmly where that sequin negative is and see what we get. Well, I don't know. I'm just not happy with that. Is anybody else happy with it? Because I'm not. I'm just not feeling it. But when I lift this up, it's going to have paint on the back side of that. Do you see that? And I'm going to put it on one of the papers that I wipe my brayer on and get the paint off the back side of that sequin negative. There you go. You can just barely see it. I took it right up the middle. Right there. Not real strong. But kind of cool. Kind of cool. Now I'm going to take another one before that paint dries, because see, that imprint is still there, and rub it out, because you don't waste the paint. Let's see how this one looks. Now I like that one a lot better. Just kind of different. Robin's going to join us. Awesome. So yeah, I'm not feeling this one. It does different. It acts different. It behaves different. But I like the homemade jelly print plate, and I like the store-bought one. I like this one more, the homemade one, because it seems like you actually get more prints off of just one spit it out, Lois, with more than one paint application. Seems like you can get 2 prints out of this one. All right, so we're going to put the negative sequin down and see how the store-bought jelly plate did. Put that on there, rub it really good. Oh, I just got paint on me. Imagine that. Yeah, the homemade one, did you not get in? I'll put that up while I'm pressing this. And I'll tell you what, let me get this done, Donna, and I will go back over it again. Basically, what you're going to use is, ooh, look at that one. I got to stop talking. That one was really cool looking. I like it. I like it. Oh, yeah, I like it. And we're going to clean off our press on something else. And look how that showed up. That one came out really cool. I like it too. All right. Let me get this right here done. And we'll see how that turned out. That one didn't show up quite as well. It's not bad though. I'm liking it. Just, it's different. All right, now let me do this one. See, now my plate's almost clean. Okay, let me put the recipe there so you guys can copy it. And let me grab the box so you can see what it is. This is what I got at Walmart. It's unflavored gelatin. And it contains 32 envelopes. So you need like a box. I don't know if they had a smaller box of it or not. But what you need is 39 packets. And you mix your alcohol and your glycerin. And the glycerin I got at Hobby Lobby. Oh, I can't remember, like $3 or $4 because I used one of their 40% off coupons. Put my sequin on this one. I think of this one, I'm going to go corner to corner. And 91% isopropyl alcohol. And you just get that at the pharmacy. But anyway, you mix your gelatin with your, well, first you mix your glycerin and your alcohol. Then you put your gelatin in, which is different than what you do with Jell-O. Jell-O, you want to put it in something hot. Ooh, this one's pretty. Look at that. How cool would that be on like a spring card, a summer card? That turned out really pretty. I like that one a lot. So anyway, you mix that up, and then after you get it all the way mixed up, then you're going to add in your hot water. And let your hot water dissolve in your mixture. Now, after you get it all mixed up, then you can put it in. This was just a 9 or an 8x8 baking pan that I used. And it's set for 3 or 4 hours. And if you can take your pan and you can tilt it like this and it's not running and you can touch it and it springs back, then it's done. And if you're not sure or you're worried that you're going to ruin it, you can always let it set overnight. What is nice about the homemade ones is when they get dings in it from whatever you're using, tools that you're using on your jello plate, you can just turn around and tear it up in little bitty pieces. Try to take the paint off of it. Oh, that one's pretty. But you try to take the paint off of it with a wet wipe or whatever. And then you just crumble it, tear it up in little bitty pieces, use a knife or whatever, put it into a glass bowl, pop it in your microwave, about 3 to 4 minutes. One on this size, I would check it after 2 minutes. You want to keep it to where it's completely liquid. If you see anything still floating in it, or you notice big bumps in it, you want to put it back in the microwave for 30 seconds, because even though those are little chunks, those chunks will float to the top and then you'll have a bump in your jelly plate. And then you can just put it back in your pan and let it set back up and you got a brand new jelly plate. You can do that over and over. What keeps this, and you don't have to keep it in the refrigerator, what keeps this from molding is the glycerin and the alcohol that you use in it. Now, when you first make them, they have an odor of alcohol. Not as bad as this plate. This plate is horrid, but they will have a strong alcohol smell. So when I took it out of the pan and put it on a clear acrylic sheet, I let it set for about 4 or 5 hours. Then I took it and I flipped it upside down and let this side kind of air out. And I did that twice on each side. Now it doesn't smell like alcohol. Whatever alcohol was on the surface has evaporated away and it doesn't stink no more. This one, however, as I'm sitting here, it still stinks. It's horrid. So let me grab some baby wipes. But we could still do some pink on that without making it too muddy. That's my fear, is I don't want to make it muddy. Give a muddy color. So let's see, what have I got? I've got, that's about the same color. I've got a red. That one's about the same color. Let's throw some white in there. There we go. Let's do that. Valentine colors. So yeah, what's neat is that you can reuse this. I've never had one mold at all in all the time I've been doing it. And I got my original recipe from Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter. And I did it once. I don't know why I messed up when I did it the second time. But I like this one better than the original one I'd made. And what happened to my first one is I'd went on to a crafting deal and I left it in my car and forgot about it, and it was in a Walmart sack. So when I found it, because it is gelatin, they will melt. So you can't use your air gun on it or whatever, your heating tool. But anyway, it was such a mess in the Walmart sack, and it's really not a big deal to make a new one, that I just pitched it and decided I'd make a new one. Now, my first one, I actually had it for 2 years, and I'd only remelted it once. So it held up really good. And the only reason I had to remelt it is I was using a the little found objects around your house. I was using some metal stuff from Brick's Garage, and it dinged it up really bad. And so that was, oops, me bad, not the plate was bad. I did it. I broke the plate, and then I left it in the car to melt. So that was me. That wasn't the plate's fault. And actually the one I did before was a lot thinner than this one. And I decided that if I ever had to make a new one, I was going to make one a little bit thicker. But yeah, it's essentially Jell-O with no flavoring or scents or whatever. I've seen where people have put glitter in theirs. I'm always afraid to do that. I need to watch if somebody's got a video on how they're doing that, because I think the glitter would come down to the bottom of the plate. And see, this, the way it is now with no glitter in it, I can flip this plate over and use the other side if I don't feel like cleaning it at the moment I'm in the middle of a project. I can just flip it over. You can't do that if you got glitter and it's went to the bottom. Think how fun this would be with Christmas colors. We're all waiting on summer, and I'm sitting here talking about Christmas. But that would be really pretty on Christmas colors. Let's see, what should we put in this one? We haven't done any of our little stamps yet, so let's pull some of those out. These are just phone stamps. You can get them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, Joann's. Normally in the kids section, they work really good because they don't have a whole lot of detail. So they work out perfect for this type of thing rather than regular stamps. And plus, these, it's not a big deal if they get paint on them. As you can see, they've got paint on them from the last time I used them. You know, I try to clean them as good as I could, but I'm not going to fret. They're foam stamps. I'm not using it on my paper projects. And then here's a little circle within a circle. We'll just pop it down a couple places. And then you want to stamp off your extra paint over here so it will lift up some more paint. Let's see, let's put a few little squares right there. And let's Put a few right there. A few right there. Put down a piece of paper. It's not like we went to the Christmas store and already been thinking about Christmas after Christmas, is it, Donna? That place was amazing, by the way. And looky there. You can kind of see, this one just doesn't let the paint go. You can kind of see where I had a few things, but not really. So I think I'm going to do what Donna says and sprinkle a little water on there. Then go back through and see if that lets it lift up some more. If this doesn't work, I think I'm about done using this one. It's just not doing what I need to do. Just not happy with it. Yeah, see, that didn't even show any of the designs. What a bummer. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this one up real quick, get it out of the way, and move these others down, and we'll just play with the regular jelly plates. I was afraid of that. When I saw what it was in the package in the mail, I thought, ooh, I ain't going to like that. That just didn't work. Well, actually, I've got a pan of water down here. I'm just going to toss it in the pan of the water and clean it later because I just don't like it. Now you can get these jelly plates at, you used to be able to get them in the store, but I was looking in the craft store when I realized I ruined mine and thought, well, I'll just bite the bullet and I'll pay the money for them. They're like $28. They're pretty pricey. Someone gifted me these from a sneak and peek that I had went to in a class that I had taken. These are the student ones. They're, you know, smaller. They have the regular jelly plates. I think they go clear up to 12 by 12. But as you go higher, the 8.5 by 11 is like $28. So if you went by 12 by 12, I'm pretty sure that would be over 40 at least. So that was my biggest drive to do a homemade one. Was the homemade one cost me less than 10 bucks, and I can remelt it down and do it over and over and have a nice plate. And when I ruin it, I can make another one for 10 bucks or less. So that was my drive to do the fake jelly plate, the homemade one. And I seem to like it better because you get more prints out of it. Nearly 5, and I need to close up. Oh, you're leaving? I was hoping that you were off of work already. Well, I'm going to be on here for probably another hour, so maybe you can catch me when you go home. So I'm going to continue with these two. These would be nice if he was doing cards or small envelopes, or you just wanted to do like a tag. That would be nice for these. But I just love the jelly plates. I think they're awesome. You get so much out of them. All right, so now let's do, I've got some flowers down here. Let's do some flowers. I haven't done any flowers yet. That one is such a little plate, so let me do some little flowers with this one. And I like that the paint stays moist on these for quite a while, so you could really have some fun playing. Let's do some smaller flowers here. I think we can fit one right there. With that other plate, it just didn't seem like I had enough time to do any playing with my jelly, and I want to play with it. So that was a bummer. And let's do... You can also do some reverse stamping on these, which means that you can stamp something on here, let it dry real quick, put a different color over it, and then jelly print it off. Let's see what this one looks like. Well, you can kind of see where the flowers was. I think I'm getting too much paint. That may be my problem. Imagine that. I think I'll do this one and then clean my plate and start working on envelopes and maps. I got some music paper to do, some little sacks. That'll be a lot of fun. Now my second press off the plate showed the flowers, but my first one really didn't, and I think I'm getting too much paint on there. So let me take one and just kind of clean my plate. There we go. And I think on this one, I'm going to use this big sunflower. There we go. I need something to wipe this paint off with. Okay. And now let's throw in a different flower. And we'll see what we get off of that. And like I said, your sheet that you're wiping your stamp off with is a bonus. How cool is that? It's really pretty. All right. We'll see what kind of design we get with this one. You see a ghost image of the flowers, not really a whole lot. Let's pull our second one and see what it looks like. And there you can kind of see the flowers a little bit better. So, out of curiosity, let me throw some black on there and see what that looks like. Nothing's more classic than black. But let me do this. Let me lay that there, that there. Get this out of the way. Now check this out. I laid my stencils down on the pink and red we did. I'm going to get this black on my brayer. Brayer over my stencils. and see what we come up with. And I think I will use this pink white paper that we had, because remember there's going to be paint on the back side, but there's also paint on the front side. So let me flip. That one's pretty dry. I'll flip that one on it. Rub that down. Now I got a black design on my fluorescent. I should have stuck this on a different color than the one I already did, because it's not going to show up. All right. So now I've got this design on my jelly plate. Let's pull it and see what it looks like. My board's running away from me. Whoops, let me get that out of the way. It's nothing like blocking the camera. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's pull it up. Look at that. That is cool. I like that. Kind of a muted colors. That's really pretty. So let me get this cleaned off. And then we'll go on to other things. Look at that. Still showed up. So let me grab a different sheet. We'll just keep going. This is off one paint. How cool is that? All right, so let me grab a wet wipe. We'll clean these off, and we'll go on to, let's do some envelopes. You could customize your own envelopes. Do mixed media envelopes to send your happy mail. That would be really cool. Okay. Get this all cleaned up. Doesn't that clean up so nice? It's like nothing to it. That's why I like these. It's easy. It's got my name on it. Alrighty. Let me throw a sheet on there to get the moisture off. Okay. So let's do, got a menagerie going on up there. You need to be careful to be sticking together. So all these fun prints. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Purple one's not too bad. I really like that one. That looks like so boho. Boho. Wonder where they got the name boho. Bohemian. We used to call it was hippie style. Now it's boho. So if you just joined us, here's some of them that we did in the fluorescent colors. I really like that one. That one's pretty. Originally it made me think of summer, but now it makes me think of Hawaii. Let's all just go to Hawaii. Who wants to go to Hawaii? Let's go, let's go. Donna Joe says she's taking us all to Hawaii, right, Donna? Isn't that what I heard? She's listening. Wonder if she heard that. Hi, Gwen. Aren't they pretty? So we're going to do, I've got some, let's see, let me find them. I've got some big envelopes. Let me pull them out. That's that size. I don't know the sizes. It's that size. It don't make any difference for what we're doing. But I found these at a thrift store. They're not as, here's a regular business size envelope. Let me match it up. So they're fairly large. Back when we were all doing pocket letters, Gwen, would this not really have been the perfect size? But anyway, I found them at a thrift store. They're kind of ugly. They're just that manila yellow goldenrod color. And I thought, boy, I could do something with those. Look out, here I come. And I'll make them pretty. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over and we're going to try out some of the craft paints rather than the artist touch paints and see how that they work. They're a little bit juicier. So they might actually work a little bit better. Not that there was anything wrong with the artist touch. Just that they were awful thick. So we're going to try something different. We're going to do, let's see, let's stick a metallic in there. We need a metallic. Let's stick a metallic purple and green. How pretty is that? I'm just going to bounce it around. And if you just join me, these are the store-bought. These two are the store-bought jelly pads. This one is my homemade jelly pad. That was our big comparison. We had the Stampendous pad, but it didn't last very long. I didn't like it. What's that old saying? It's my party and I can cry if I want to. I cried. I didn't like it. It's out of here. All right, so we didn't get much green in that one. Let me steal some green. We'll see what that looks like. I think I got too much paint on that one. So we'll roll some of this off. And we'll go back this way. I use the paper for journaling, card fronts, Happy Mail envelopes. Did I say cards? Bookmarks, but mainly for journals. But you could use them for anything, really. Anything that you use your pattern paper for. So let's put, I'm trying to think. I think I got this with onions or something. I could be wrong, but I think I did. Oh, I was going to use envelopes. Sleeping at the wheel here. So I'm going to lay that down. Give it a good press. And this is what I ended up with. Probably use it as a background on something. It's not my favorite. Didn't really care for that one. I really like these. These were cool to play with. They're plastic. So let me put those down because I really like those. And Let me put a few circles in because I really like the circles. The world's filled with happy circles. Happy, happy circles. And let me put a couple of these in. I like the circles. A little bit bigger one. I really like the circles. Can you tell? All right. Now, let's put one there. What else do I have that would fit in that spot? I have, make sure I'm not covering up my area. I have a time card, or let's see what this one does. So we know what we're looking at. And we discovered that where the little one was, you really had to push to get the paint to show up, to get the detail. All right, you ready? Oh, that didn't really turn out. What the heck? Did my paint dry? Well, let's do this. Let's add some. Let's see what color goes good with that. Let's add some pale yellow over this. And some pale yellow over that. And we'll see what we come up with. Let's do this one first. You think I failed, right? Because I'll stamp over that one again, or a jelly press over it again. So that really isn't a fail. But watch what happens. Watch what happens now. You're going to be so surprised. Put that on there. And let's grab a tag. See if we can't center that. And we'll put that one there. Look at that. How cool is that? So pretty, 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 pretty. Wait till you see this one. Ta-da! There's my doily prints. Do you see them? Is it showing up on camera? See my little circles? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's see what happens with these. With their cross hatch pattern netting. I think what I will do is I will actually put a bookmark on that. Whoops, there's two there. Put a bookmark on this one, press it down. And what else do we got up here? I think I'll take one of these white envelopes, and I will just put it right there in the center and see what we come up with. Look at that. You can see my cross pattern. How pretty. Let's see what our bookmark did. And there's a bookmark. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, so we still got a little paint down here. So let me grab a piece of paper and take that off. Maybe I'll put it on this envelope since it didn't get completely covered. And we'll just keep adding to that envelope. That'll be a very covered envelope. I think I like the neon colors better. Let me kind of clean off my pad. They were more fun to work with. Thank you, Gwen. All right, let's go into some neon colors. We got to have some neon. This just isn't doing it for me. I like the bright colors. Let's go back to neon yellow. And it seems to show up better on the camera. We need a shot of bright colors. This one is fluorescent pink. And I'm thinking it needs some contrast color. So let's add a little tiny bit of black. Not a whole bunch, but just enough to make the neon stand out. All right, get this out of the way. Let's do, what do we got down here? If those were a little closer, I could almost share a stencil. Let's try that stencil. And that one. Slippery little buggers. And then let's put that one on that one. Let's see what we come up with. Wow, that's bright, 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 bright. A fairy cut out of this, Gwen? Out of these bright colors? That is super bright. Holy cow. Look at my white paper already. That is some bright colors. Holy jabibus. Yikes. Okay, so now we're going to take the stencil off. But we're not going to waste this. I'm going to pick up one of the papers we've already done. Like this purple needs a little spicing up. So I'm going to turn this upside down. Throw another piece of paper on top and smooth it down. Because I ain't going to waste the paint. So I've got a start of another paper that I can use. But watch when I take this stencil off. How prettier did that make it? So I just keep adding layers and layers to paper. Here's a deli sheet. These make really cute sacks, the glassine like bags. I'll pull this stencil off. Flip it over. Grab another deli sheet. Put it on there, rub it. Ah, I see it going. So that's the start of another one. I'll run out of room to put these. Imagine that. And there's a start of another one. That stencil was very juicy. I think I can possibly get another one out of it. You know those plastic 12 by 12 tote things you get at Michael's. I get those and fill it full of these type of papers. And then when I want something really cool for an ATC or a card or something other, I just pull these out and see what I got. And then I can add to it. All right, so now what are we going to do with this? We didn't decide, did we? It's really, really bright. So here's a great big envelope. And I'm just going to flip it over and see what I come up with. And for this one, oh, let go. Good grief. I have that side of the envelope. I think it will fit perfectly. Yep, on those two. All right, so let's pull this off. If I pull it this way, you guys get to see it before me. How did it come out? That is so cool. I love it. How cool is that? I like it. Like it, like it, like it. All right, let's see what this one looks like. Look at that. All the neon colors. I like that. And I think there's actually enough that I can actually pull another print off of both of those. So I'll slap another envelope down on that one. And let's see, what else do I have up here? I have one of these envelopes. So we'll throw that one on. And let's grab a time card. Let's see, let's do the red side. If I could center that. Okay. I love it. And I get 2 prints out of it. That is so cool. I love that. All right, let's see what the time card. Now these time cards you can use as bookmarks, tags, tag bases, anything like that, which makes them very unique. I like that. That is so pretty. All right, let me pull the extra paint off of here and we'll start off with the new colors. And I like the black in there. I wasn't quite sure, but I thought it needed something to kind of break up the fluorescent. And I like that black. I think that's pretty. It is Happy Mail time. Happy Mail, Happy Mail. We all love Happy Mail. Gwen, do you have your craft room set up yet? Are you ready to play? You used to do some really cool videos. You're the one that inspired me to do them. Believe it or not. My husband can thank you. All right. I'm going to leave that paint on there and see what happens. Because I'm just brave that way. Let me get these prints moved out of the way so I don't end up with a paint glob mess. Let's see, where am I going to put this? These are so cool. You know, this one doesn't have anything on the edges. Maybe I could pick up some of this fluorescent. Yes, I did. Look at that. We'll just finish that one off with the extras we got on here. And what is cool about this, the old paint that you left on there, it doesn't mix with current colors. It just shows up as a layered. See, there you can see 2 or 3 different layers, which makes it nice. You don't have to worry about it getting muddy. But now when you're putting the paint on there, like I said, you don't want to mix a blue and an orange. because you will get a brown. And not a happy brown. It's like horse manure brown. Like a cow patty time. It's really disgusting. I know I asked this. Get that craft room set up, Gwen. I know I asked this, but how did y'all like the acrylic paint pours we did last night? They were so cool. And I was going to pull the paint this morning off of the plastic so everybody could see what you did with the dried paint. But it's still not dry. Some of it is, but not all of it. Which is kind of a bummer because I was wanting to do something with it. And now we got to wait. And I'm an impatient person. I don't like to wait. But you have it. Drink your coffee. But I wanted to play with the paint skins and do something. But it's not going anywhere. It'll still be there. I'll get to play with them. Just got to wait. Well, I'm thinking like those two. No. Fluorescent green. We're doing an awful lot of green though, aren't we? Let's pick on some gold and ultramarine blue. Those would be really neat colors. So I keep going in there and I keep touching the paint that's on the table left over from the paint pours, thinking anytime. And I made sure that it was able to peel it up because that was a big concern, that shower curtain has a little bit of a texture to it. So I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to peel my paint off of it. But I can't wait to do a video on what we can do with those. And they call this rouge. Looks like purple to me. Did I open that one? Nope. When I think of rouge, I think of red. Whoops. I definitely don't think of purple. All right, so let's get out something different. This one has flowers. So we're going to lay this down before we put our paint on. This one has a whole bunch of different elements. They're real mixed media type elements. So we're going to put that down right there. Now we're going to add some paint on. But what we're going to do, get these stencils out of the way, is I don't want to add the paint directly to it. So I'm just going to put some purple up there. And it's called turquoise. And some blue. And then some of this gold. I'm going to put some gold on both sides. And we're going to brayer it right on top of our stencils. Pull our stencils off, and then I think what we'll do is put some black behind it. Did I leave myself enough room to get in there? Yeah. Obviously, when you're doing this technique, you just want to make sure that the colors kind of blend and melt together. See, look at that. How pretty that is. And then we're going to go right up. Let's see, now I want to turn it. Nope, right there's gold. And want to make sure that I'm putting my roller in the same spot each time. when I ink up my roller. So what you're going to end up with is something that's kind of a gradient look. Which makes it very pretty. Alrighty. Now I'm going to pop the stencil off, and there's paint on it, so we don't want to waste it. So I've got an envelope over here that kind of looks plain, and I'm just going to put that over there on top of my envelope, give it a couple good rolls to transfer whatever paint is on it, and pull it off. Now I ended up with some flowers on there, which is really cool. But I also ended up with a flower pattern that's gradient on this, which is really cool. So let me set that to the side and let me figure out what I want to put this on. How about on this purple paper? So once again, I'm just going to lay my paper down, lay my stencil on it, give it a couple good rolls to transfer whatever paint is still on the stencil. Peel that stencil off. This one had a lot of busyness going with it anyway, but we might catch something. Not really. We'll do something else with it. All right, so see my designs on here? How cool is that? Now let's add some black over the top of that. Actually, let me put some black right there. Now let's find an envelope. Here's one of these envelopes again. Right here. We're just going to put it right over the top and put some black on this. Need a little bit more black. And I think on that one, I'll do one of these great big ones right there. I don't know if I can actually get into, you know what, I've got some of them small business envelopes. Let me grab one of those, because I think that will probably fit. There we go. That fit well enough. All right, so let's pull this up and see what kind of print we got. Ooh, I'm really liking that. That is very pretty. Let me get it to where the light ain't shining on it. I like that. That turned out beautiful. Let's see what this one did. This one didn't quite turn out. It left my design right there. We will print on this again. And the white one did a little bit, not a whole lot. So let's do, what color should we put on it? Let's do some bright yellow. That'd be a real contrast to what's on there. And we'll see what that prints out. Okay. I think I need to oil my chair. It's squeaky. And let's put a white envelope on that one. And this leftover paint, I'm just going to throw just an envelope on it. Maybe I'll give it like an ombre effect. And on this one, let's see. Let's put a couple tags down and see what that looks like. Let's put one there and put one there. Rub that in really good. Let's see what this one looks like. That is some bright yellow, folks. Holy cow. Some bright yellow. You never know what you're going to come up with, which is the funnest thing about this. You just never know. That is bright, bright yellow. You can see a hint of the flower, but not a whole lot. So let me clean off my plate here. You can see just a hint of the netting look that was on that stencil. And our ombre paint up here. Let's see what I did. We'll paint over it. The nicest thing about this is you can paint over it, do it again, give it a different look. So let me get this pulled up. You think it turned out good with the black? I don't know. Oh, you mean with this one? Yeah, I liked that one. That one turned out really nice. Really, really nice. What came after it, not so much. But now when I clean off the plate, it'll give us a whole different one. And it'll pull what was on bottom. So now you can see a little bit of the bird. I think that was a flower, the netting, and then there was like a little coffee cup stains right here and some words. So that one kind of turned out cool. And we'll just keep throwing some stuff on there to get that off, and then we'll go on to a different whole color scheme. Get the rest of that paint up. Good enough. Good enough for me, McGee. Now, I seen a video, and it hasn't been recent, but it wouldn't be hard to find, where someone made a, like a little flip book type thing. I think they used key rings or what is those zip ties. And it flipped open like this. So I thought I would try to do some of these today. And I'm going to throw them in so they're not all the same color. I'm going to throw them in every once in a while. Pardon me, I had to take a drink. And just see what they come up with. That way the whole album isn't the same color. It's all different colors. I think what they did is when they did theirs, they put pattern paper on it or something like that. I had an avalanche down here. Give me a second. before it goes in my bucket of water. And I'm just not into the let's just put it all the same and do pattern paper. I want something different. I got to be different. Let's see. Let's do deep yellow, an orange, a bright green. Not sure if we should do white or black. You should try it. Absolutely try it, Gwen. You'll love it. I have a lot of fun with it. But I like to play with messy things. And I just lost the lid to that goofy thing. I think I got it in the trash right here. Good grief. Oh, but I see my packing tape fell in the trash. All right, well, I'll have to figure out something to put over that until I get off camera. I can wiggle around and get it back out. Oh, that one's already open. But it's a cheap, inexpensive way to do something. There really is no talent to it at all. It's a lot of fun. These plates here are the store-bought plates, Gwen. You can order them online at the craft stores. I haven't seen them in the craft stores for quite a while, a year maybe, but you can still order them online. And this one is the homemade jelly plate that I made yesterday. This is my second jelly plate. My first one I forgot and left it in my car, and it melted in my Walmart sack, and it was a mess. So my first one I had for over 2 years. And I really think I like the homemade better than I do the store-bought. And when you get done watching this video, go back and watch the beginning where I had the recipe cards that showed you how to make it. Super easy to make. Sets up in about 4 hours, and then you can take off and play with it. And they last forever. Can't believe I lost the lid to this. You know it fell in the trash can down there. So what am I going to put over the top of that? Let me grab. Sure don't see it. I tell you what, I could sit here all day long by myself and not do this, not lose anything. Last night when I was doing the acrylic pour off camera where nobody could see it, thank goodness, on my kitchen table, my arm hit the purple, and it was a 9-ounce cup of purple paint. Went all over the table, underneath the basket, down the side of the table, and onto my kitchen chair, and I'm live. It's like, well, that'll be a nice mess to clean up. And it was. Thank goodness I spilled enough paint that it stayed nice and moist until I did get off the air, because that would have been bad if it had dried and made a hard mess to clean up. All right. Oops, I didn't quite get that one covered. Keep putting a little bit too much paint on there. Or at least I think it's too much paint. It ain't wanting to cover quite right. All right. Now, what should we do? What does that look like? Let's take some, kind of makes me think of fall. Let's take some leaves. And take some of them leaves off, or take some of that paint off. I love these colors. I think they're pretty. Kind of makes me think of fall, but yeah, it kind of makes me think of fall. And it's making a pretty waste paper. So as I'm taking the paint off, I'm decorating papers that we really didn't like that well to see what they're going to come up with. I'll show you this one just in case it ain't coming on the camera. This was the black one that turned out kind of so-so. Didn't really like it. But now that we've put the leaves on it, it looks kind of cool. Let's see, where are we at? Right there we are. There you go. So sometimes you may not like something to begin with, but then when you do something different to it, you're like, oh, wow, that kind of looks kind of cool. I think I like that. All right, so now I've got some music paper. I think I want that right there. So now we've got some pretty music paper with some leaves on it. This one actually showed up a little bit better. Get in frame there. There you go. I like that one. That one's kind of cool looking. They're both cool. Just one's more cool. Now what we're going to do with what's left is I'm going to take this paper and flip it over and pull what's left. And kind of clean off those plates. So that was that waste paper. This one I think I can get a second print off of. So I got a different kind of music paper that I'm going to use on it. These would be really cool as a background for tags and things. Oh, you know what? I've got a torn up piece. Let me do one with this Budweiser tag. Let's see. Let's pull from that corner. And then put that there. I think I can fit another. Well, I don't want those all the same. I just can't make up my mind what I want to do. We'll just stick one of those there. Rub them all down. Pull it up. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. And our second one here. Left that. Kind of pretty. And let's see how our tag turned out here. May or may not work. I was just curious. That's kind of cool. Different. Something different. Something different. I like different. Put that there. Let's see. Just use a piece of paper to get the rest of it off. They would make really good journal type things. Oh, no, that one turned out really cool. That would be really pretty for a Happy Mail in the fall, with all of its fall colors and leaves. Okay, so let me get this cleaned off a little bit. Let's see, what color should we do now? If you guys are wanting to see something, just holler. Let's see. How about some blues? Yeah. I don't think this one's been opened yet. And a little bit of white. It's just a smidget. Okay. I'm going to do this one. that down. Let's see. Just a little bit left. I don't want to do that one. Which one do I want to pick on? That one was kind of plain, so let me add that on there. Pull it and see what it looks like. Well, that kind of turned out pretty. You see the little flowers. Let's see what our little coaster come up with. Oh no, that one turned out really pretty. It covered everything up. I like that. Love it. Love it, love it. All right, let's see what we can do with this one. Stamps in my way. Put up my toys and they wouldn't be in my way. And then for this one, I think I will stick this great big butterfly there. I think what I'm going to do with that one is one of these great big white envelopes and try to center it. And press real firm so I get all the details in my butterfly. Okay, let's see what we come up with. Ooh, I like that one. Right in the middle of the envelope. Love it. But now what is left? Well, actually, I'm going to lift it up because it's still got paint on the back of it, see? And we're going to put it right in the middle of this smaller envelope. Use our brayer to transfer what is left onto our envelope. And pull it off. Oops, not quite. Really, I think the paint may have dried, but it'll have a ghost image anyway. It's still cool. It's just not what I thought it would be. Still so cool. Look at that. You can kind of see the detail of the butterfly. Let's see if I can pull it a little closer. So it's kind of cool, but I was hoping that it would be better. But for an envelope, I guess that's probably what you need, is for it to be like this light, so you could write somebody's name. But I'm more impressed with that one, right? But we still have a design left here. We're not done, folks. Hold on. Let me find another big envelope. There's one. Let's put another big envelope. Let me center it. And really push down hard. I think we will have an outline of a butterfly on this one. I think. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it definitely did. Look at that, Gwen. How beautiful is that? That is a beautiful butterfly. I think I like this one better than I do that one. I don't know. I like this one. This one has a lot of different colors. Okay, so there's still more. So let me pull. What should we pull on that one? Let's pull. We haven't done one of these yet, but we'll pull this one. And actually, what is left there, I think I want to put another color down. Let's see what color would show through really, really super, super bright. Let's use this pink. I'm not ruining it. I swear I'm not ruining it, but watch this. Everywhere where that butterfly outline is now going to show pink when I go to pull the next one. So you'll have all the really cool blues, but then you'll have a shadow of pink showing through where the butterfly is. All right. I almost want to do another white envelope so we can see all the colors. That's what I'm going to do. Let me center this puppy. Let me press down. In my mind, this is going to be beautiful. Whether it really is or not, I don't know. But in my mind, this is beautiful. Okay, let's pull this one. Not bad, not what I was thinking. You can still see the outline of the butterfly. I just thought that you would see more of the butterfly and you didn't. That's okay. That's okay. We ended up with a couple of really cool prints, just not exactly what I was looking for. So let's take some of what they call rouge and clean our plate up, because it's getting pretty messy. So we put quite a bit of paint on there, and hopefully that'll reconstitute the paint that's behind it and allow us to pull it all up. All right. Now I have some of this ledger paper. I'm going to put that ledger paper on there. Because we haven't done any ledger paper yet. And that one come out all purple. That's okay. I have a music sheet. And what I'll do is the ones that we don't like, we can always do another print over it. Not bad. We're still getting the same purple though. Good golly. All right, so let me do a couple sheets of this to get rid of it. Man, I really had a lot of paint on there, didn't I? Good golly moly. Starting to come off. All right, now I think I can take a regular piece of paper and get the rest of it off. It should lift pretty good. They are so pretty. They are. I wonder if I can get this blue up. I forgot about it. Not really. Okay. I think I want to do another butterfly. That was just too cool. That turned out so much better than I thought it would. You just never know what's going to be. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. To really don't like it. You just never know. Let's do this one, and let's see, what else do we need? We need like a light pink. That one? It's like really pastel. And then we'll rock it out with some darker color. On our second or third print, we'll do some black, or you know what, we might add some silver in this. Just to shake it up a little bit, we need some silver. We got silver, or we got gold. So while I'm putting the rest of the colors on, you can tell me silver or gold in our butterfly. What do we want? Silver or gold? I guess that one's got to be opened up. Silver or gold in our butterfly? I'm thinking this is going to be really pretty. I'm thinking a little silver, just to give it a little sparkle. Grab our glare. This paint wasn't quite dry. So it is really tacky. I pull it off very easily. Look at that. How pretty is that? And let me get this one off. Hopefully I don't tear the paper, and if I do, I'll just touch it up with a little bit of paint. How cool is that? That is so pretty. I love that. But now there's still a print there. So we need to add something else over that. What do we got here that's kind of plain? Let's see. Well, we're just going to put some music sheet paper on it and pull that print before it dries. Oh, there's 2 of them. Way to go, Lois. That left a pretty good print. Kind of liking that. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to put a different color on it. So, let's see how our butterfly turned out. I'm really digging the butterflies. I love that butterfly. So pretty. All right, so now I need something to put that butterfly on. Boy, if you could see the mess that's around me right now. Good golly. It's everywhere. So I'm going to pull that up. Stick that on there. Give it a good brayer. We'll see what this one looks like. I want to see. Now, this one turned out really cool looking. Let me turn it around. That one turned out really cool one. The last one we did was really faint and you couldn't hardly see it. But now that is cool. I like that. I actually think there's enough paint on here to maybe do another one. Nope, not really. Okay. So now we still got this one. Let's see what we get off of it. I think the last time we ended up getting 2 prints after we did our first one. It's one of my favorites too. I like that butterfly. And I really never used the butterfly until today. And so this one shows just a hint of the butterfly. Not really much of anything. Hit and miss. But now the other 2 prints we did was gorgeous. Loved it. Here we got this one. I'm thinking I just want to pop it on here and let it pull some ink up. And kind of tone that yellow and black down because it really didn't go with anything. Couldn't see what was behind it. So now I muted it down a little bit, made it more usable in my book. Now I still have this. And the print is still there. So I think what I'm going to do is put a little black over it and see if that'll pull that up. I don't know. We'll do a little bit of black around this one. I don't know that that'll pull it up, but it might. I think I need more black. Let's see, what do I want to put on that one? I think I just want some regular cardstock and see what that's going to pull up. This one left a ghost printing of the circles that we was using and the old time Viewmaster reel. So it left a little bit. Let's see what we get off of this one. Boy, it just isn't wanting to pull what's left. So let's just clean it up with the cardstock and see what we get. Kind of a grayish color. And there's still a little bit left there. Well, I think I'll clean these off and call it a day. Look at that. Look at that. So much fun. So I hope that you guys learned something new. If you hadn't bought a jelly plate yet, that you kind of got an idea of what's out there and what they do and how well they perform. The different things that you could use on them. Like I said, I think I like my homemade one better than I do the store-bought one. It seemed like this, you got more prints out of it than you did the store-bought one. This is definitely thicker, so you had more cush to push your stuff into it. And if you damaged it, you cleaned it off, you melted it down, and remolded it. So I think that I like my homemade one better. Definitely didn't like the Stampendous mono printing pad. The smell of that was horrible. And the paint dried, which I was afraid of that. So that will probably just get tossed. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and it didn't seem to perform very well. And if you missed it, you can look at the beginning of the video for the recipe for this one. Whoops. Clean it off and then touch it. Just like a kid. Thank you, Gwen. But this one is cheaper than the store-bought one. You got more prints out of it. It's more economical because you can melt it down. I am kind of curious if I can melt these down. And maybe that's what I'll try, is I'll break a little piece off of this half a plate and put it in the microwave and see what happens. I don't know. But I think that the consensus is when you damage these, you have to just throw it away. So you really didn't save you no money if you can't remelt it. But anyway, I hope you had fun. You seen all the fun things we did. I think this one and the butterflies, wherever they went, they're gone. Oh, here they are. The butterflies. And I agree with Gwen. I think I like that one with the black in it. Was that the one that we was looking at? I don't know. There's so many of them. My gosh. But these will be fun for Happy Mail, tags, journals, ATCs, cards, different seasons. We saw some summer, some fall, made us think of different things. But I just wanted you guys to have fun and learn something new. And I'm going to get out of here and call it a day and go think about supper because I'm getting hungry. So give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Tell me which one was your favorite, what you'd like to see on a future video. That would be helpful. And subscribe. And if you click the bell, make sure I'm going to point to the right direction. If you click the bell up here in the corner where next to subscribe, it will notify you when I'm getting ready to do a video, when I'm doing a video live or recorded video, and you'll be able to keep up with me a lot quicker. So that's it. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Have fun. See you all later.